It is here. It is time. Get ready, get ready, get ready. Rampage. The watch along is here. We're having a good time because why? It is possibly Jade Cargill's last match in AEW. And since she's been kind of the Rampage staple, I figured why not hop on and do this. So, hope you like the new intro. We're just trying it out right now. Oh, all right. Froze up, but that's okay. We're going to have a good show. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to get the ticker going down below so you know what's going on. And as the Expendables Part 28 ends right now, we're getting ready for Rampage. Possibly Jade Cargill's last match. So thank you for staying with us here on the channel here. I've got a lot going on coming up. And the shorts are kicking, so check those out. Let us know what you think of the show all episode long. I want to know your thoughts. Noob, thanks for joining. Let us know your thoughts on everything. We have a lot going on, but let's check out the card first off. What do we got? Again, Chris Statlander versus Jade Cargill versus the TBS Championship. I know the spoilers online. I guess everyone else does too, knowing the news with Jade. And kicking off is going to be Lucha Brothers versus the Hardys. Lucha Brothers and the Hardys versus the Butcher, the Blade, Jeff Jarrett, and Jay Lethal. The Acclaimed will be in action, and Christopher Daniels and Matt Sydal will face the Kingdom, who might have some interesting stuff coming up for Grand Slam, but we'll see. As we get started with Rampage right now. Again, let me know your thoughts on everything. Christopher Daniels haven't seen in a second. The Acclaim, we're going to talk about their new belts. And this is the match. It's kicking off right now. Big old 8-man tag. Rampage is kicking off. If you want to see the intros, they are on AEW's X or Twitter. And if you want to follow us on anything, you can catch our links down below. Make sure you do, because we do post a lot of like random stuff on social media. We're not follower whores. So it's just fun stuff. Say hi to us on social media if you want. We get bored, we comment back. And if you're not watching live, make sure to comment and let us know your picks for everything and your thoughts for everything, because we do comment right back. Noob, I hit you up on X. And again, I was up against time today. I didn't even think I was going to do this today, but I just figured since this could be Jade Cargill's last match, she's been a Rampage staple. Why not do a Rampage stream with her final match, possibly? But we'll do that when I come back. The first full weekend in October will be, I think it's the 6th. I got your topic, Noob. Don't worry. All right, Jeff Jarrett taking down Penta right now. There's a lot of people going on Rampage right now. Let me know what you're up to this weekend too. Let me know. There's a lot of random stuff going on. School's back in session, so if you're doing anything fun with the kiddos, or if you're back in school yourself and you got a nice weekend ahead of you, let us know what you're doing. Movies coming out. Not too much TV coming out. We'll talk about the strike in a little bit as well. I'd like to know some non-Hollywood people's thoughts on the strike. So I'm just going to briefly touch on it, not get too in-depth on it. But we're going to talk more about that, some pop culture stuff, of course. And he came back tonight. He came back tonight in Denver. We'll talk about him and some other piece of trash was on SmackDown as well. But The Rock is back, and he was on Pat McAfee and said some big news regarding last year's WrestleMania going into this year's WrestleMania, the merger that took place this week, and so forth. Yeah, some corporate layoffs today. No wrestlers so far, so that's good news. But again, not for the corporate people. That sucks. But kind of weird, as Nick Khan sent out an email saying stay at home, work from home Friday, and then we'll let you know when the firing's done. So that's what happened at HQ today, not in Stanford anymore. Matt Hardy off the top rope. We're going to talk about surprises for Grand Slam, and of course the Hardys are going to be part of that as well. Butcher and the Blade, I will put money down one of those two takes the pin today. Jeff Hardy. What are your thoughts on Jeff? He can still get the dancing going. He's got the energy, little rusty in the ring. Noob saying Mandy Rose starts her OnlyFans. Do you think Mandy's coming back? She made a little hint this week about her possibly being a free agent when asked about returning to wrestling. What are your thoughts on that? Or are you comfortable with her just being an OnlyFans? Prime time if you're out there. But yeah, Mandy Rose possibly coming back to the wrestling ring. I would say I'd like to see her in Impact, if anywhere else. We saw her in NXT. We saw her on the main roster. Let's see her somewhere else. Let's see how she can go with Deanna, Grace. Mickey James just came back at 1,000. There are even more people outside. There are so many people. Just getting everyone out there. Is that Penelope Ford? Welcome back to TV. Kip Saban. Kip Saban looks like Ken from the Barbie movie. Kind of. That's on digital now. Almost every movie from the summer, you can watch at home now. All right. We're going to talk Collision too. If you watch Collision, let me know. Especially if you watch it live, I'd love to know. We have the ratings breakdown of the quarterly parts of each hour. We're going to talk about that because it relates to Jade Cargill. We do have a Jade Cargill segment coming up. And of course, get your Grand Slam predictions in. There's only like 4 or 5 matches, and one of them they don't have a graphic up for yet, but that is the Christian Cage match. And then, of course, any random predictions that you might have for Grand Slam. I'd love your thoughts on the new Aquaman trailer too, if you saw it. It's fine if you like the first Aquaman, but holy crap, is that busy? That Aquaman trailer is so busy. There's so much CGI in it. Every device I watched on was like just trying to keep up. And they're totally fat Thoring Aquaman too. Arthur Curry has a kid now, which he does in the books, obviously. But he's sitting at home. He's changing diapers. He's got his Aquaman gear hanging up on the wash. First off, if it is safe from tridents, sharks, all these things inside the ocean here, how is it washing machine safe? That's what I want to know. Tacoma FD. Not my cup of tea. But fan of Super Troopers. Good to see them. 60-second commercial break right now. Next commercial break, we'll cut on some news and rumors, and then after that, we'll get into the crux of everything here on the Rampage live stream. Let us know how you're watching it too. Are you watching it on cable? The ratings were up this week. Not by much, but up. Dynamite. Man, it was a battle. If Dynamite was going to win or lose against NXT, it beat NXT by, I think, 35,000 viewers. So that's the live Nielsen ratings. Expendables 4. Ew. Did it say Cena? No, it didn't say Cena. Why would Cena be in an action movie? Ridiculous. I don't know. Let me know what you thought on SmackDown 2. I know most of what happened, so if you want to do spoilers, feel free. I'm good for it. Noob says the first few episodes of the new season of Power is good, but this week's episode is Mackenzie Page. First title defense is underwhelming. Like I said, Natalia Markova should have won the Burke. She had a name for it and everything. I think. I think you're right, Noob. Maybe I'll go back and watch it just so I can compare your notes with that. I think they missed the bus on that, unless they know she might be going elsewhere, like we've talked about before here on the stream with you. That could be one thing. Hence the I would say the Jade Cargill treatment. But I mean, like tonight we're going to see Jade lose. It's out there. But maybe that's why. Maybe Billy Corgan knows that she might be checking her options. She might be asking around. Tough to do right now, especially with it being kind of known that WWE will be making main roster and NXT cuts. Grizzled young veterans, obviously their contracts have expired and they are no longer with the WWE. So who knows? Maybe AEW picks them up. They need to get their tag team division kicking again, man. The trios kind of took away from the tag division here in AEW, so I'd like to see the tag division get back to it. Great trios champs with the Acclaim, though. Again, we'll talk about their new belts in just a bit and see if you have Buku Dolore to buy them. Is that Jericho on commentary? Is that why it sucks? All right, Penta going over. Karen Jarrett is just killing the ears here. There we go. Phoenix going over now. All right, it's got to be the main event. This is the multiple times that they advertised Chris Statlander versus Jade Cargill. Again, looking like Jade's last match in AEW, hence the stream tonight, because we went through opponent after opponent after opponent. It was a squash for most of it, but hey, she was our mainstay on Rampage. So this is our goodbye Rampage to Jade Cargill. Possibly. Per Raj Giri, the guy who started up Wrestling Inc., he thinks this is all BS and she's going to stay with AEW. So Satnam Singh tossing. I don't know why you put Jericho on commentary right now. You got other people you could put on. Like Kip Sabian did a good job at the All In pre-show. You got more people that you could use like that on here. A lot of times Raw used to do that during the Thunderdome era with people like Dolph and some other people who weren't being used on the show. So there's just too much Jericho on. Or if you're Jericho, not enough Jericho on. All right, here we go. The Blade's taking it. We knew it. One of them was going to take the pin, and the Blade took it. Lucha Brothers standing strong in the ring. The Hardys outside. We're probably going to keep the program going right now. I'm telling you, they got tag teams in there, and we're going to talk about it at Grand Slam. Another tag team could reform. You know who I'm talking about. All right. The Righteous are out here. I like the Righteous. I like them in ROH. I think they should build them up more and add a couple more members and then put them on the main roster. I think they're very good, especially Vincent. Vincent stating basically that he was going to be part of the Wide Six, whatever incarnation that was, before he went to AEW instead. Britt Baker. Never got Britt versus Jay, did we? Is she going to start a program with Sheeta? She should have been a bigger deal. I don't think they made her a bigger deal because, like, well, Kenny was the champ. But she should have been a huge deal in AEW. All right, she's going after 2 titles. I like that. It's different. Chris Statlander's reign is okay. I wouldn't be hurt if she lost the belt right away. It's fine. I think she needs a little more character work to go on, but okay, it's tomorrow night at Collision. I thought I was going to save this for Grand Slam. That's a mistake. That's a mistake. Why not put that on Grand Slam? Showcase the TBS title because it's on the fucking network. All right, that's what it is. Noob, let me hit up this commentary, and then I'm getting some news and rumors. Cody's impressive in the NWA. She's been appearing on so many Smashing Pumpkins concerts, and the world is a vampire tour. She's pretty much getting mainstream media attention. She is, and those hits are pretty big on the Smashing Pumpkin stuff online. So, there's a wrestling promotion. Fight the World Wrestling is getting a cross promotion show with the NWA in November. Well, that's good. She must be sticking around then. So I don't know why they wouldn't put the belt on her. Big mistake not to push her. Let's get into some news and rumors really quick. And of course, let me know if you got anything. We'll talk Jade in a little bit here. Let me skip over all that. Jade stuff, Jade stuff, Jade stuff. That's Jade stuff. There we go. All right. If you got $5,000, you can get one belt. You can get one of the Acclaim's new belts for $5,000. It is ring accurate, crafted by Red Leather Belts. They're made to order. They'll be numbered 0 to 10. Comes with a belt bag, certificate of authenticity, signed by the Acclaimed and Daddy Ash, and the guy from Red Leather Belts. So there you go. If you got $5,000, if you got two other friends with $5,000, you can be the trios champs. All right. And if you didn't know, Zarian from Matman is basically claiming that AEW is going to be on Max going forward starting next month. So their streaming service is going to blossom with the possibility of live events. So the reason All In was not on is because the technology wasn't there for Max, so they couldn't broadcast a live sporting event like All In. That's why it was done the traditional pay-per-view way, which they did great buys, by the way, of All In. So look for Max to have the entire AEW catalog on. This is a good sign for AEW as they renegotiate going forward here. And it is also a good sign for those of us who don't want to pay $50 a pop for a pay-per-view. The other part of Zarian's statement here is claiming that they are going to 12 pay-per-views a year. We have Forbidden Door and Wrestle Dream and All In now added. Those are 3 additional to the 4 that we usually have. So that is going to be a big deal for AEW, and hopefully more talent gets exposure as well. But look for All Elite Wrestling on your Max streaming service. The bad news about this, you're going to see a lot of stuff leave Max, not because it's taking over room, because that's not a thing on streaming, but because it allows Max the cushion to get rid of some of their Warner Brothers branded material and license it out to Hulu and Amazon Prime like they're already doing right now. But that is it. So we'll see how that unfolds and when it will debut on Max, but it looks like that is actually happening, which I'm actually excited about, because then you can go back and watch some old AEW stuff and hopefully watch some pay-per-views and not pay $50. All right, next up, this one, I don't know if it's going to be on Max by that time, but we will be going to Full Gear. Knock and I got our tickets. We'll be sitting there Saturday, November 18th. So if you are going to be in the LA area, if you're going to be at the Forum for Full Gear, hit us up. You got the socials down below. And again, comment on the video if you're not watching live. We will be at Full Gear. We'll do some videos, obviously, afterwards for it, but we're going to have a good time. Probably do some live stuff with our socials. And we're excited for Full Gear at the Kia Forum, November 18th. All right, let's talk about this really quick. So the writer's strike is going on. The actor's strike is going on. If you have any thoughts on this, I'd just like to know from some people who do not live in Hollywood what your thoughts on the strike are. Anything you have in mind. Again, you got John Cena and The Rock both on SmackDown tonight. It's work and it's exposure that is not related to the acting and the guilds. So obviously nothing that they could be called scabs for. You got talk shows like the Drew Barrymore show and Bill Maher's show still going. The View still going. There's things around that as well. So they're not called scabs, but there's other controversy as well with that. So you can look into that if you want to. I really don't give 2 shits about those shows. So, but yeah, let me know. Leave some comments if you're not living in Hollywood. I'd love to know your thoughts on this and how it affects you personally, if it doesn't at all. And if you don't really care, or I'd just like to know. All right, QTV is on right now. All right. Taylor Swift The Eras Tour. This tour was so unreal to get tickets to. There are videos of kids crying because they could not get tickets. And shame, but also kudos to the parents who are filming that, because it is actually kind of hilarious. But it is going to probably pass $1 billion, if not more than that. This is going to be the biggest tour of all time. This thing played SoFi for many nights. She played for many hours. If you're a Taylor Swift fan, this is the tour. But here's the deal. It's coming to theaters October 13th. The Exorcist movie that's coming out moved weekends because it was scared of how bumped it's going to get in the box office that weekend. Taylor Swift The Eras Tour in theaters. You can rent out a theater for hundreds of dollars for you and your friends, which you could do during the pandemic too, so it's not a big deal. But it is kind of cool. If you weren't able to go to the tour itself, you could have a party. Also, this movie is kind of done independently because it's not going through a major studio to go to the movie theaters. So kudos on her and her team for doing this. Kudos on them for making probably one of the biggest tours of all time, going through a huge retrospective of everything. Kind of a big deal. So just look at this. It has garnered 65 million plus so far in pre-ticket sales. It is past the second Doctor Strange movie. It is probably going to beat the last Spider-Man movie, Top Gun Maverick. There's a list of movies that is beaten already in pre-sales. This movie's gonna be so huge the weekend it comes out. This is gonna be endgame huge. These Swifties are gonna take over Hollywood, at least for a weekend. We'll see how longevity plays a factor into the Eras tour in theaters, but damn. Taylor Swift doing it right here. Okay, so this happened. I just want to talk about this. NSYNC, they reunited at the VMAs this weekend. Why? Because Trolls 3 needed a song. Justin Timberlake's album sales aren't that great. They're not like it used to be. Lance Bass is doing fine right here in West Hollywood. He's got two places that are booming right now in West Hollywood. Joy Fatone had My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3 come out this past weekend. He's doing stuff on the Food Network and other places too. He's doing fine. JC Nachos and the other guy, I don't know who they are, but I'm sure they're fine too. The only person who really needed this was Justin Timberlake and his PR team, but kudos on you, Justin Timberlake. You got the band back together after years and years and years because you needed them. All right, let me know if you got any news and rumors out there. We got a new match coming on right now. But that is it. If you got any other news and rumors, let me know. We're going to talk Jade Cargill in a little bit here, as that's going to be the main event tonight. Let me just find the slide, and we will be back. There we go. All right, let me hit up these chats here as we watch with Chris Jericho on commentary. Yeah, Noob not liking Kenzie Page. So if you are familiar with NWA, if you want to watch Power, watch Kenzie Page's match this weekend. Leave a comment down below. Let Noob know. It's a pretty big conversation to put her in. At least we're getting Checkered Past, however. Should be a 3-hour block. Ooh. If I can handle 3 hours of that, but John Morrison is going to beat the crap out of QT Marshall when he comes back. I hope so. QT Marshall just signed a soft extension, so it's not going to be a big one, but he's going to stick around for a little bit. Mr. All Power, how you doing, buddy? I don't know why John Morrison isn't. I don't know why his wife isn't either. Frankie Monet wasn't. It didn't get over too big in NXT, but Taya gets over everywhere else she goes. So I don't know why Tony Khan isn't taking advantage of her. Not like that. I know. Her talents. So remember, the AEW will be on it. We just talked about that, Mr. All Power. There you go. Yep. 12 pay-per-views a year. I hope the price of Max doesn't go up or it doesn't alter anything like that with Max. But I mean, I'm excited for it to come on Max. I really am. We'll see how it goes if Dynamite and Collision and Rampage go next day to the streaming service. Obviously, they're not going to have ROH. WB still has a problem with the Briscoe situation, so I guess that's. But who knows? Maybe that might be part of the package deal. Maybe behind the scenes they're talking to Tony Khan. This is the epitome of a Rampage match, so thank you for watching it with me tonight on a Friday night. Oh, yeah. So do you think WWE will handle the trios belts better than AEW ROH? ROH used to do the trios belts really well, especially with Shane Taylor Promotions. I don't like the idea of trios belts because it takes away from tag teams, like we just kind of talked about a little bit. Because there are rumors that they're going to split up the tag belts again. I would just take one set of tag belts and leave it as that. I don't know. Let me know what you think about that. I'm not the hugest fan of trios titles. Bring the belts between all brands and NXT. Yes, like the women's championship was supposed to be in the beginning. I don't like weight classes either. I think that kind of hinders it because then you get rid of the David and Goliath stuff. So if you want to do something like Zelina Vega versus Jade Cargill, you kind of can't because of weight classes. So I hope they don't lean too into being part of UFC and the TKO group. All right, Mortal Kombat, Dave Batista yelling it in your ear. We'll talk Jade in a bit. We got some Grand Slam predictions coming up. And then we can talk The Rock. You know what? We can just talk The Rock right now. If you watch SmackDown, that's fine. If you got spoilers, I'm totally okay with that, by the way. All right. So The Rock was on the Pat McAfee show today. Was in Denver, Colorado. He had a lot to say about a whole bunch of stuff, but the interesting stuff and the stuff that we're going to talk about tonight is going to be what he said about Roman Reigns. So everything was locked in for him to fight Roman Reigns last year at WrestleMania 39. He was set. They were set. Everything was good. It wasn't injuries that he was scared of. He was delivering a good product that he wanted to do. But then they heard about the merger. They hinted that they heard about the merger. Take that for what it is. And they changed plans and wanted something afterwards. And even Knock was talking about in the chat here that they wanted to save the bloodline to break up further down. They wanted that still going as the merger happened. So they wanted big things to happen. And now at WrestleMania 40, they're hinting at Roman versus The Rock. I'm fine with that. I like the idea of The Rock facing Roman. I thought last year should have gone to Cody. I thought everything was done very well. I like the idea of the bloodline stuff that we got after Cody lost. So I'm going to pitch this to you. Do you think it should be The Rock and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40? Or do you think Cody should have got it? This happened on SmackDown. I don't know why Dwayne would do that. That's just too bad. I don't want to see John Cena in a main event picture ever again. But for a main event at WrestleMania, are you interested in seeing The Rock versus Roman Reigns? And are you interested in seeing that for a title? So, hinting at Cody's story, it would assume that Cody's story would end with beating Roman Reigns for the title, the one that he wanted, the wing title. Kind of compare it to the Dusty Rhodes story going forward and all that. But this hints at The Rock versus Roman Reigns for the title being the big payoff, like it's supposed to be WrestleMania 39. So therefore, Cody would have to be in another program. But the one caveat could be this does not need a title whatsoever. The Rock should not be fighting for a title if he's part-time, especially if he's coming in now because of the strike. Once the strike is over, he's just going to go back and do other stuff. We don't know. So that's the whole catch here. Why would he go for the title? So let me know in the comments if you think it should be Rock versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia, if you think it should be for the title, or if you think this program should happen before WrestleMania, Cody should take the belt from Roman at WrestleMania 40, or if Cody should take the belt from Roman before WrestleMania 40. Kind of anticlimactic for Cody, but just let me know your thoughts on that. Yeah, let's have some of these chats here as we have about 20 seconds here until the commercials come back here. Noob says he wants a women's mid-card titles. I would love a women's mid-card title. Don't care about Jackson Riker. I don't think Mr. Allpower does either. First women's IC championship should be Natalia. That'd be nice. I mean, she worked double duty last weekend or 2 weekends ago, and she's always there. Let her finally showcase herself like she does when she trains people. Oh, she's a great trainer too. And her husband, TJ, putting on great matches with people. If you want to find out who books the matches, he's one who always books like match of the night almost. Real Kings. Everything's good, Real Kings. Appreciate it. Looking for a good weekend with the fam. How are you doing? Everything good with you? And he says, Roman versus The Rock will be the biggest match ever. Did you hear the pop tonight on SmackDown? Huge. I feel that Roman, this is so weird because, like, again, Cody should be the one to finish his story and take the belt from The Rock, from Roman. But at the same time, this is one of the biggest matches of all time. This is, I think, next level Hogan and Rock. Let me know. Leave comments. I'm up in the air on this. I'm fine either way. It's just poor Cody. Poor Cody. What about his story? You know what? And poor TVs everywhere for having to see this. This is unreal. Like, why? Don't touch him. Now the Peacemaker stink is on you. All right. I feel sorry for the next Fast and Furious movie because now you got the Cena stink. Got this bad relationship with The Rock and Toretto. Does Roman still have 3 belts? Well, I don't know. He doesn't show up for work, so I can't count his belts. And that is it Matt Taven got the win. The Kingdom takes the win. We're going to talk about the Kingdom in a little bit here as we get into our Grand Slam predictions. And again, let me know what you thought of the Aquaman trailer. Matt Taven's good. I really liked him in ROH. I just, we'll see what happens with him. Oh, mic time. All right. Still playing up the Roderick Strong thing. Get your Grand Slam predictions in because, I mean, they're going to play into it. Just Adam Cole. Adam Cole doesn't have a match for Grand Slam. Criminal. And here's the thing that AEW needs to start doing, asking Warner Brothers to do commercial free. And also TNT needs to start offering commercial free options as well. Excuse me, TBS. I'm Melvin. If only the Kingdom should stay in the NWA, only to be destroyed by La Rebellion. The Kingdom has been kind of everywhere. That's why I don't like put too much stock into the Kingdom. Because they can just kind of go somewhere else that could get, they probably won't get fired from AEW. They're not like bad people. It's just sometimes they don't get over as much as I think, hope. I'm a huge Matt Taven fan, though. He's really, really good. He's enjoyable to watch. And he's got great mic skills. Bennett. Ugh. Yeah, just let Matt Taven talk. That wasn't pretty. See, they're starting too many wacky things here with this and with Roddy Strong. Too many wacky things. They are friends, and it's all because of Vin Diesel. That's why The Rock and Cena are friends, because of Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel needs to keep pumping out Fast and Furious movies, and he needs people like The Rock and Cena to save them. And now they're friends because of it. Come on, Rock. You can be better. Prince Nana. He's catching fire online, man. People are just making memes and GIFs out of him. He's good. He knows what he's doing. All right. Brian Cage. All right, let's see how Swerve does. I'm a big Swerve fan. Oh, it's Swerve's podcast. I'm going to check that out. There you go. No, mental health and autism awareness is real. I'm not a big fan of that storyline either. There's better ways to handle this. It's a real damn thing. Thank you for bringing that up, noob. Don't make goofy storylines out of shit like that. It's just tough to watch, especially when you got a lot of people in your life that's something that affects. So just all right, they're going after the Bucks. Brian Cage, don't veer too into the steroid kind of, not steroids, I don't want to put that out there, but into like the meathead kind of thing. You're talking about calorie deficiency, and don't lean into that because now the machine and the Swolverine is kind of like going away from you right now. Oh, okay, they got two guys out there already. Peter Avalon and forgot the other guy's name. Who Joe Burrow is. Those belts again, yours. Those belts can be yours for $4,999. One belt, $5,000. All right, the Acclaimed have arrived. It is 7:33. I apologize for no trivia tonight. Again, I was just kind of up against the clock. I didn't know if I was going to do this tonight or not. But Jade Cargill's last match, probably in AEW. So thought we'd get the band back together for her last match. Okay, the Outrunners. All right, Jericho. Chill on the commentary. Let me know what you thought at the beginning, too. I played our new opening at the very beginning of the show. Yeah, put together a new opening. We're going to start using that and a little something extra to kind of change things up a little bit. We're going to use that more when the podcast comes back. I just thought I'd try it out tonight. So let me know if you want to go back and watch the very beginning. I put the new intro in there. Hopefully you like it. All right. Pretty Peter Avalon, Eric and Knock worked with him. They had nothing but great things to say about him. He's one of those guys who puts everything into it. And if you watch Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, he does a lot. He does a lot of stuff, even not in front of the camera. So if you want to look him up, a lot of respect to him. Hopefully he's got a lot of stuff going on outside of AEW too, because the guy just seems like a workaholic in the wrestling business. How do you guys feel about this? So there's word too that Elias doesn't have a contract right now, and he's just kind of drifting, if you will. People like Elias or Peter Avalon or anyone who does kind of a goofier gimmick, is it easy for them to come back from it, or is it something that's going to stain them forever? Like Eugene, to me, I can't really see have an actual match. But then you get Nikki Cross, who comes back from the Nikki ASH. I can see her doing the other Nikki Cross again, and that worked. So let me know what you think. People doing goofy characters. I still believe in R-Truth. I want him to have one good run with the title. I don't care what title it is, other than the 24/7 title. But if he retired with that title, I wouldn't be mad either, because I'm a huge R-Truth fan. But that's just it. It's just like actors too. You want to pigeonhole yourself, or do you not want to do certain things so you just don't get typecasted? And I think that's what happens with a lot of wrestlers too, especially people like Eugene or Santino did a good enough job to skate around that in other companies. So I think he did a very good job of making sure people were familiar with him in other companies like TNA and NWA, but still kind of remaining true to what was on TV. This is going to be a quick match. All right, looks like the main event is going to be Jade and Chris. So coming up next, we are going to do our Grand Slam predictions. There are only like 5 matches, I do believe. That Britt Chris Statlander match should be on Grand Slam. I didn't even touch on that yet. All right, we're going to hit it up. All right, ticket sales are not looking too good right now for Grand Slam. They're not terrible, but we're less than a week away. Dark Order's still a thing? I thought they were in ROH. If you watch ROH, let me know how it is. I know Athena's killing it. I just don't have another reason to tune into ROH anymore. I think the Dark Order needs a huge revamp because, again, talking about goofy characters, the Dark Order, that's it. They went from being a thing to the stuff with Brody, which is cool, and then unfortunately, what happened with Brody happened, and then they just got pigeonholed into the goofiness with Hangman. They didn't really pay off that with the Hangman too much either. They should have paid that off. Coming out with just a vest on. I would like to see the Grizzly Young Veterans in AEW. I think they'd be a good addition and bring the tag team championships like competition, because I mean, just really everyone's kind of going for the trios titles, and the trios titles up here, tag belts are down here right now in AEW. Noob says without Brody, the Dark Order is pointless. I kind of I just a revamp, something different. You know what? Just something different. You can still integrate Brody's son in great ways, because they keep doing it in really good ways. So we're just stacking up Collision tonight, aren't we? We're going to get into Grand Slam because they should be stacking up Grand Slam right now. We're going to talk about ticket sales in a second here once the segment's done. Daddy ass is going to do it. All right, rock, paper, scissors. Scissors always wins, huh? Again, those titles, $5,000 for those titles. $5,000 for these titles, peoples. So you can't call them idiots for being like goofy because you guys are goofy and kind of idiots, but $5,000 for one belt. Unreal. All right, let's talk about Grand Slam because this is what they should be promoting right now is Grand Slam tickets. They have buy one, get one tickets for Grand Slam this Wednesday. They also have tickets slashed. So I think these tickets are, I forgot how much they were. I gotta start taking notes. Anyways, tickets are slashed, and the tickets aren't selling extremely well, but they're not terrible. So we'll see if they move everyone around. It's looking to be a fraction of what last year's was so far. 11,000 something. And this is it. The new Aquaman trailer is on right now. King of Atlantis, Arthur Curry. 500 million people. Look at how much CGI is in this. This is almost too much. If you're watching this trailer, watch it with me here because I'd love to know your thoughts. James Wan, who I'm a big fan of. Martin, I'm a big fan of. This is a different trailer. All right, so he has such a big, powerful thing on his head. Zombies. He's got his brother back. Amber Heard is in one shot of this trailer. People are kind of saying whatever about it, good things about her not being in the movie. But James Wan even came out to defend himself, saying this is a buddy movie between brothers, and she's never really a part of it. Amber Heard saying otherwise, but who cares what Amber Heard says? Maybe this will be fun. They are saying this Aquaman trailer is a standalone movie. They are purposely saying it does not connect to The Flash. And some outlets are that they're doing media for are saying it doesn't connect to the DCU at all, other than the last Aquaman movie. So that's not a big endorsement. December 20th, the end of the DCU before the James Gunn verse starts up. All right, let's get into this. Let's get into some Grand Slam predictions. Here we go. Claudio Castagnoli versus Eddie Kingston, ROH World Champion. Claudio versus New Japan Strong Openweight Championship. Both titles are on the line. Title versus title. Who do you think is going to win? I'll tell you who's going to win. Eddie Kingston is going to win. This is going to be his big payoff from TK. It has been a long time coming for Eddie Kingston to have a big payoff. Getting these two belts is going to be a big deal to Eddie. I'm not the world's biggest Eddie Kingston fan. If you've listened to the show before, Eric's not either. Knock absolutely loves the guy, so he's going to be ecstatic as Eddie Kingston picks up the win in two belts. It's going to be something different seeing Eddie Kingston as a champion on ROH. Claudio's been on for a long time, but look, ROH is Athena's show. That's all I'm saying about that. I like Claudio, but the ROH championship almost seemed like not a consolation prize, but look, ROH is what it is, but I think this is Eddie Kingston's time to shine with two titles. Kingston for the win over Claudio. Let me know who you got. Next match, Jon Moxley versus Rey Fénix. This match is just going to be good. AEW International Championship. This is clearly the workhorse championship. Orange Cassidy started off almost every Dynamite for months and months. Huge thank you, Orange Cassidy chance when he lost it to Jon Moxley, just like Tiffany Stratton losing the title to Becky Lynch on Tuesday. Orange Cassidy losing the title to Jon Moxley made him look even better in my eyes. Orange Cassidy's on a whole different trajectory right now than he was beforehand. Because of this title, this match is going to be off the chain, especially with the stuff that Rey Fénix can do. I'm excited for this match. I think this is going to be match of the night. I'm going to say Jon Moxley keeps it. Why? Because Tony Khan does not want this man to have a vacation. Let him have a vacation. I feel like he's going to have a vacation, and at the same time, Renee is not going to get a vacation, and they can't take it together. But either way, Jon Moxley is going to take it. Noob says Claudio's probably winning. Jon Moxley is retaining because of the PWI 500. There's another good point. Number 3 on the 500. Or was he number 2? Let me know in the chats. It was the Shield in the top 3. Seth was number 1. Moxley for the win right there. This match, it's happening. There's no graphic up yet, but it was announced. Christian Cage and Luchasaurus versus Sting and Darby Allin. Now, Christian Cage on Dynamite stated that he lost the match at All In because he didn't have his real tag partner. He didn't say Luchasaurus. He said his real tag partner. We'll get to that at the end of this here when we talk about surprises coming through here at Grand Slam. But Christian Cage knocked the TNT champion with the TNT champion, Luchasaurus. I do believe will lose to Sting and Darby Allin. Why? Because the TNT championship can stay where it is and Sting can keep looking strong, which Tony Khan's done a great job making Sting look great. He looks like his nickname, the Icon, and Darby Allin can have a nice big match with something else special that's going to happen that we'll talk about and kind of move on and kind of heal himself and not get forced into another program. All right, next match. Chris Jericho is on commentary right now, and Sammy Guevara. I do believe something's going to happen at the end, but Sammy Guevara is going to be looking like $1 million after this. I think this is going to be the thing that puts Sammy Guevara into a big solo trajectory. But I do think Chris Jericho isn't just going to lose and shake hands. He could, but I'm just saying it's usually when the mentor loses or does something in a match like this. Geez, that was a quick match. Aussie Open. Usually the mentor does something to turn heel, which makes the younger person, the young boy, the baby face, the up-and-comer gain momentum and the fans' adoration. So I do believe Sammy Guevara is going to take the victory on here, and Chris Jericho will move on to other things like maybe selling out Wembley again with his band because they're the reason that it got whatever the actual number for Wembley is. Mr. Worked Everyone and the Dino winning. Sammy G is winning. It's passing of the torch match. Exactly, noob. All right. Saraya versus Toni Storm. They are going to put the Outcasts together. So again, we talked about this before. I talked about this with Knock. I don't get why Toni Storm comes out to the Outcast music like she just did this Wednesday while she's doing this other character on Collision and has separate Hollywood themed music for that. Nonetheless, I do believe Saraya is going to retain the title. And I do believe we'll get into that, but someone else is going to interfere, a new member of the Outcast, because I don't think they want to throw away the Outcast because it would look bad. If you have your new women's champion, person with the backstory and the history of Paige/Saraya and her faction just kind of disappear, I don't think that's going to happen. They're talking about Grand Slam right now. 2-hour special next week of Rampage. So take that for what it is. We're going to talk about the surprises, and the surprise that I have in store for this match will be talked about in there too. But Saraya will retain, setting up a bigger match for either Wrestle Dream. But hey, let me know what your thoughts are too. And again, if you're not watching live, leave a comment. I want to know your thoughts. MJF versus the winner of this match. It was Samoa Joe. So Samoa Joe will be taking on MJF here. But you know what? I left this graphic up here because Roddy Strong will still have something to say during this match. Roderick Strong. Oh, we're starting the match right now. TBS Championship. MJF is going to keep the belt, but something is going to happen here. And I do believe it's going to lead to a match involving the Kingdom, and we're going to get to Wrestle Dream with the storyline at the end of this match. As Jade Cargill comes out right now, probably one of the last times we'll see her in an AEW ring. Here's the surprises. What do you think is going to happen for surprises? I'm so hung up on Goldberg going to AEW. I don't know why, but Tony Khan is finally going to do it. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's going to happen to this, but last year's big surprise was Saraya. He's got to do another surprise, right? Could it be another big Ring of Honor person leading into the Wrestle Dream pay-per-view? And then, of course, we have Mercedes Moné. That's what I think could be brought in as another Outcast. And two things could happen with that. She could side with Saraya and turn later because, again, she's the person that gave Saraya that injury in real life. But or she could be the new leader of the Outcasts, and they could push Saraya aside. Let me know what you think about that. And also to Edge. Edge coming at Grand Slam just kind of fits all the bills. Christian Cage saying he had a new big money contract that TK gave him. The Dudley Boys signing a new Legends deal with WWE out of nowhere, especially with Devon not being him leaving WWE how he did last time and then speaking on some things, I don't see why he would resign. But just out of nowhere, they re-signed a Legends deal at this time. So you got the Hardys, you'd have Edge and Christian, but now you don't have the Dudleys purposely, so no TLC couldn't happen at one of the pay-per-views in AEW. So I think that was a strategic move, and I think we need to look into that. But I do think Edge could go to AEW at Arthur Ashe Stadium. Let us know your thoughts too. All week long we'll answer. So your thoughts on Grand Slam, your predictions, surprises, and anything else. And let's get into Jade Cargill's final AEW match. All right, Noob says the DQ finish. I don't care about the Outcast and the AEW women's division. Tony Khan doesn't care about the women's division, to be fair. Samoa Joe, because he's the king of TV. He's got to keep that belt. He's really good. I will say this. I'm not the hugest fan of Twisted Metal. Mercedes Moné might show up and send the drama queen Tony Storm packing. So there's another way for it. I do think Mercedes is coming, though. She's featured in the stands. We have 10 minutes left. Let's talk about it right now. I have slides all set up for this. I want your thoughts on Jade Cargill and the news going to WWE. So as we get into this TBS championship right now on a pre-taped Rampage, it is pretty much set up like this so Tony Khan can avoid the thank you Jade chants, as Jade Cargill has been rumored to be going to AEW after she finishes up with AEW, and some reports have her finishing up with AEW as soon as this week. Now, based off of that, look at these Collision by the hour ratings right here. The very top right there, you can see the biggest spike right there is the second paragraph right there. The finish of the Moxley and Andretti match, Roderick Strong in the Kingdom video. I know that's not the big draw. Chris Statlander versus Robin Renegade, and Jade Cargill coming back and attacking. That is the biggest bump of the night for Collision, was this women's match and setting up this match for Collision, or for Rampage, which again happening. So there's no thank you Jade chants from the crowd. So he got ahead of it that way. So Jade Cargill, according to Sportskeeda, is expected to join WWE soon. With that being said, I'd love to know your comments on this. Do you think she should go to NXT and go through the roster in NXT? Or do you think she's too big of a star for that? Do you think because a lot of people think she's green yet. But the beauty of being in a company like WWE is they have the program set up, the Performance Center, NXT, and then the main roster. So you have people going back and forth in the ring, like Tiffany Stratton learning from Becky Lynch during her NXT match, as Becky Lynch was calling the shots and Tiffany Stratton was learning. Again, Tiffany Stratton looked like $1 million losing the title during that match with Becky Lynch, because Becky Lynch went through this process and is able to help someone along the way like that. So Jade could do this to help, but there's also, you learn on the job in WWE with house shows, Performance Center, all this other kind of training. So that being said, would you rather see her be the big surprise entrant in the Royal Rumble this year? We all know she's coming, but if you put this on the back burner for a bit, people kind of forget about it. You might think The Rock is the big surprise again, leading up to WrestleMania 40. You don't know, because there's all these other things, and other people's contracts will be up, and we'll have the cuts done by then. So hopefully if you have any idea who might cut, let me know. But I unfortunately do believe WWE talent cuts are coming soon. But with that being said, Jade going into WWE is someone that they could back fully. So Jade Cargill has people for her, like an NFL player, who make deals. So with someone like that coming into your company and you paying whatever the deal is, you know you're going to be making a big star out of them. And it could lead into movies. It could lead into big championship matches. Look at Bianca Belair and Montez Ford. They were everywhere this week in New York. The VMAs, they're at other parties. They were at the closing bell when the TKO deal went through on Tuesday. So that's the kind of faith they have in Jade Cargill. It's not just someone that they think, well, they're popular on the internet. She's kind of proven herself to be someone who not only can pass the airport test, but as we just saw in Collision, can do that ratings bump right there. So that is it. Let me know what you thought, what your thoughts are on Jade Cargill. If you think she's done, again, Raj Giri of Wrestling Inc. does believe that she's not done and she's going to stick around in AEW. But do you think she is no longer All Elite, and she's going to WWE. Again, where would you like to see her in WWE? Any feuds you'd like to see her against? She could even take a loss against someone like Zelina Vega, because then if we don't have weight classes like we talked about, Mr. All Power, you could have these David versus Goliath kind of matches. If you have weight classes, you kind of omit that, and then you're just stuck with Jade versus Rhea, Jade versus Charlotte, Jade versus Raquel. So hopefully the weight classes don't have an effect on anything going forward, because I think that's kind of a silly rumor, especially when you're bringing in someone to make a huge star out of like Jade Cargill. The future's looking bright if she does go to WWE, and if not, look at all the buzz it's creating. We have been talking about it for segments and different kinds of videos throughout YouTube and the wrestling community all week long. It should show Tony Khan, you need to push Jade Cargill to the moon. You need to have her face Britt Baker. You need to have her go after the women's championship. And you need to make her as big of a star as you make any of your men. That's all I have to say about Jade Cargill. Love Jade Cargill. She's been a Rampage staple as we've been watching her matches, her Goldberg-esque run through Rampage. We've been doing it together. We've been, calling the match lengths because they're usually squashes. But either way, she's been promoting herself big time with promos, the baddies, and everything else. So excited to see what the future holds for Jade Cargill, because she has been a part of our Rampage viewing parties for a long time, and that's the reason we're doing the stream tonight. Our farewell to Jade and AEW. Thank you for everything, Jade. Thank you for giving us here at the Rampage watch along some good memories. See you in WWE, Jade. Let's get back to the match here. Again, if you've been online, you kind of know the outcome of this match. Look at that. So this news kind of got leaked as this crowd is watching this. So I remember it was after Dynamite. I think Knock hit up the chat and sent the message in there. God, we never got Britt and Jade. That's such a crime. I believe that should go to the main roster, just like AJ Styles and Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey, we just watched in the Expendables movie before Rampage started up. More excited about Jade Cargill going to AEW than I think I am Edge going to. More excited about Jade Cargill going to WWE than I am Edge going to AEW. Just because of the presentation that Jade could get. So I know Dave Meltzer, who is a waste of space, will never give sports entertainment matches good ratings. To me, those are awesome matches. To me, seeing people come out to WrestleMania type entrances pops me. Those are big things that I really enjoy. So when AEW or Impact or NWA does these right, I really, really get excited when the smaller companies really do presentations right. MLW had a good presentation of Jacob Fatu and Hammerstone, right? Some of the other people, it was just basic, hit the music, they can run out. But I mean, certain people, when you present them right, they bring you into that weird reality that we like to get in with wrestling, that escapism, that type of crap that just makes us forget about the world for 2-3, unfortunately 3 hours with Raw, but you know what I'm saying. So that's kind of the thing that I'm looking forward with Jade Cargill. I know AEW is the place for matches and like the big the move after move and the spots and all this cool stuff. But I mean, sometimes I just like to be entertained like I was in the 80s and the 90s. I'm a simple man. Noob, thanks for sticking with it all night long. Like I said, with Nia Jax return, Kairi Sane coming back, and Jade Cargill going to WWE, we might see some other women from other wrestling promotions and indies. They could go to the WWE as well. I do believe so. I do believe the changing of the belts is a good sign for women going over there. And like you said, adding depth to the roster, especially with Kairi Sane coming back soon, I think it gives fans more to tune into as well, rather than seeing, I love Charlotte. If I had a promotion, I'd start it with Charlotte Flair. I do get sick of seeing Charlotte Flair. I do like seeing Io with the title. I do like seeing Zelina in the ring. I want to see these other kind of matchups. Oh, I was going to say, you can't beat Jade with a roll-up. But anyways, good point, Noob. It is a good sign. But again, WWE has a long way to go, too, with booking women. Every wrestling company does. AEW is just the most frustrating because they have all this talent and we just saw the same people in the same like tournament matches for like 2 months. They're gonna fight forever chant. That's kind of nice. If you got any comments or noobs right there, that's a good comment. I'm just gonna leave that up for a little bit. And again, if you are not watching live, hit some comments up. We comment all the time, back and forth. So if you comment on any of our videos, especially our X-Men tier list, that one we might not comment back on. But again, let me know how you like the new intro. Put that together a couple weeks ago and just trying it out. I'll play it at the end. Maybe. 1 minute left. Here we go. Chris Statlander, another sizable person too. So I like the size moves from big people like Jade and Chris, but also the quickness too. There it is. Let's see if they edit this now. So Jade took the L. She put Chris Statlander over. If you saw the stuff online, they hugged at the end, and Jade raised her hand. So she put Chris over, and it's kind of a nice moment. If you can find it online after the stream, just check it out. I know AEW is taking it down from a lot of places. So if you do find a place, watch it quick. Because a couple places that I found it, even the pictures, AEW took it down. Friday Night Fever. Sounds like an 80s buddy movie. I like it, noob. Oh, they're good. All right, they put it on here. The respect on here. It's a good rub for Chris. I'm glad they kept it on the TV here. Apparently, when Jade went to the back too, there's a lot of people hugging, and it acted like a farewell. So it kind of does look like Jade could be out the door, but again, people like Raj Giri are saying this is BS, and she's staying in AEW. We could be talking about all this for nothing, but hey, you know what? This is wrestling. This is what we like to do, is BS. Hey, you know what we didn't do tonight? We didn't talk about CM Punk. Isn't that awesome? All right, Collision tomorrow. Let us know if you're going to watch. Grand Slam coming up Wednesday. Let us know what you're excited for. That is the stream. Thank you for joining. Again, make sure to hit the like and the subscribe button, all that good stuff. You know what to do on YouTube. But again, comment. We'll be commenting all weekend long on your comments. So thank you again for watching the Rampage live stream. We appreciate it. My name is Zach. On behalf of Eric and Knock, this is West Coast Pop. Have a great weekend and be excellent to each other. Take care, y'all.